Alrighty, here we go. We're going to work today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, anybody. Gonna do another road trip going to work. Okay, here we go. It's windy today here. Okay. 6:19 and 56 degrees. Pretty windy today. Windy and chilly. Alrighty. Well, whoever's here, I see we have one person. Let's see. Chat. Okay, that's good. All right. Well, I'll read the chat after I get to work. I'll probably be on here for about 45 minutes to an hour, probably. Yeah, it's a long trip to work. The sun's like glaring in the eyes here. Okay, let's see. Got two people in here. Well, good morning, everybody. Good evening. Well, let's see here. It's talking about working different jobs and stuff like that. Also worked as a mailman, and that was good. Did a lot of walking on there. Yeah, you walk, you get in your truck, drive to the street, get off, then you got to go one side of the street, then the other side, then you go the other way. Same thing. You know, I mean, you go through a lot of shoes walking. Yeah, I think I went through maybe like what was it? Probably a pair of shoes in 1 month. I mean, we're on the bottoms. I mean, it's a lot of walking. When you do that, you got to buy some good shoes, or else they're not gonna last. Plus, your feet will get all tore up. I remember when I first started a job. I mean, man, I got so many blisters. My feet were all messed up, tore up. But I just stay. Every day I got home, I take out my socks. All the blisters were all busted up. Sometimes we're bleeding too. You know, I could imagine how the military. I was never in the military, but I can imagine some of the same way, walking all the miles in the boots. And if you don't have a good pair of boots, oh man, your feet can get destroyed. Yeah, so I was working as a mailman, and then they you always hear you're walking, and then you're coming, and you know the dogs start barking, telling everybody, here he comes, here he comes. You know, the thing is, people think that the dogs, it's because of the uniform, but it isn't that. It isn't that the uniform is causing the dogs to bark. I think it's the mail that's inside the bag, because you know how mail people have, you know, their smell from their hands goes onto the mail, or they put perfume on it on some of them, you know. So there's all those smells. You have you know, hundreds of letters in your bag. You know, you're carrying them, and then the dog is smelling all. You know, dogs smell. They can smell real good. So you know, they're like, oh man, where are all these people? You know, I think they get confused. You know, they smell the smells of the mail, you know, coming. So you know, they start going crazy, and then they teach you, because you know the dog, you know, especially if you get a dog that comes at you, you don't want to turn around and run, because what's he gonna do? He's gonna bite you on your butt, or he's gonna grab your leg, you know. So you basically, when they come at you, you gotta stand your ground. Of course, they give you pepper spray, you know, and you know they give you that just in case, you know, you get a dog. I mean, I've heard, you know, the bigger dogs, the pit bulls, they don't care, man. It's like kind of like somebody that loves chili, you know, give them some chili and they think it's candy, you know. So yeah, one time I was walking the streets out of the yard, and you know, starts yapping away at me, and I told him, hey, get away, you know. And then you know, they tell you to put your mail bag in front of you, so that way, you know, they'll bite the bag before they bite you. So then he went away. So then I go all the way down, and then here I'm coming back on the other side of the street, right where the dog is. And what is he? Here he comes. He runs across the street. He starts like and getting closer and closer, and I keep telling him, get away. He doesn't want to get away. So I'm like, okay. So I pepper sprayed him, and you know, and he went away. He's like, I didn't like it. Well, I had warned him, you know, go get away, but you know. And then there was this other place, man. This dog, man, they had him tied up on this big tree, and you'd have to, in order to deliver the mail, you had to go by him. But he couldn't get to you, but you know, he'd be running around the tree, you know, going like back and forth, you know, like crazy. So then, every time I pass, I'm like, damn, this dog, man, if that chain breaks, man, I'm done for, you know. And yeah, you know, like, because the thing is, if the way it works with the mail, if there's a dog that's like dangerous out there, and you report it, we're not obligated to deliver mail to your house. It's like they'll send you a note, that your mail's not going to get delivered because your dog, you need to chain up your dog or put them where you can't get to the mailman. So so then what was it? Oh yeah, so that dog, and then there was another dog, and he was like coming at me also, so I had to pepper spray him, and the dog went away. And same thing as the other one. I went across, came back on the other side, and here he comes again. And then I'm like telling him, and then I guess he remembered that I got him with the pepper spray. So this time he stopped and he thought about it. And, okay, so he went back, didn't attack, And then so I did that, and then I got injured. So then I ended up not being able to work for a while. Then they sent me up to a different like a big post office to do with a computer. You're like talking into the computer, telling it where the mail goes. Because it's not it didn't get delivered. It didn't go to the proper spot. So did that for a while. Then after it was almost I think like 4 or 5 years, and then post office, just like every other company, when you get injured and they don't want to deal with you, they just get rid of you. But they still, since it's federal, and you got injured, you still have to. They're still going to pay you. They don't want to, but they're going to have to pay you. While it's workers' comp. But federal workers' comp is different from regular one. Regular workers' comp, they pay you. They pay you only like for a certain amount, like maybe 1 or 2 years till your cases, it's I guess stable or whatever they're gonna do, and then they'll pay you out, give you a certain amount of money, or you get covered for medical for the rest of your life in case you need an operation or whatever you need, and because I remember getting injured in a different job. I fell off a ladder, and and then they send you a check, saying because of the injury, and you got to read it, because that check, it'll say on it, this is just a payoff, but after your case is finalized, you say they give you like say $10,000, and then they finalize your case, and then they say, oh well, we're only going to give you $7,000. So now those $3,000 that you had, and if you spent it, good morning everybody. If you spent the money, they're gonna it says right down the check, you're obligated to pay them back. So if you get injured, you gotta make sure you read everything. And then I remember having to go to court to see in front of a judge, because the judge is gonna decide, your injury and how much it's worth and everything, So I go up there, and this isn't federal. This is just regular, workers' comp. And then the thing is, I get there, and man, it's like basically there's 2 big lines to see the judge. On one side of the line, you have all the lawyers from all the insurance companies, and on the other side, you have all the people that got injured. And the funny thing is, you're like in line, and you're hearing everybody's case there. I mean, I had never gone through this before. I don't know if they still do it that way. but it was like everybody, everybody's hearing, what the judge is saying, what the other lawyers are saying, and even the judge tells people that come there because you have the right to have your own lawyer present, to fight your case. But then the thing is, if you have a lawyer, they're gonna pay. You have to pay the lawyer out of whatever you're gonna get. It's a settlement. So then, there was this old guy that was in front of me, the case, and then the judges, and then plus they have translators there because a lot of people don't speak English, and people think, oh well, if I'm an illegal, I'm not, you're still covered under workers' comp. See, this is what people don't understand. It doesn't matter if you're an illegal or anything. If you're working and they're paying you and you get injured on the job, you're supposed to get paid. That's the law. So then this old gentleman, he was like, I think he was probably in his 50s, I'd say, and the judge, was telling him, oh, we have free lawyers upstairs. You can go upstairs and get a public defender to help you with the case, get more money. Those are free, and so this old man, and then he's telling him, well, what do you can get a certain amount of money plus medical for because I guess his was his both of his knees got messed up. I don't know if he fell or something, but something messed up both of his knees. So this guy is like, the judge is telling him, you sure you wanna do this, and then the guy's all like, no, I just want the money because they're offering him the highest amount that you're offered, I believe, is $100,000 on regular workers' comp. I think that's the limit. I'm not sure, but because that's what the guy was telling him. He goes, it's only $100,000 you're gonna get. He's all, yeah, that's fine. He's all like, he's all telling me, look, you're still young. If your knees get worse, you're gonna need a knee operation. And if you need a knee operation, knee operations, they're like about, and this was back in what was it, like 2005. No, 2000. No. Oh no, it was. I'm sorry. This was like before 2000. It was like 1999. It's like 1998, around there. So the guy's telling him, do you know what a knee operation costs? And the guy goes, I don't know. He goes, a knee operation costs you at least $90,000. So he goes, you're not gonna have any money. You won't be able to afford, a knee operation. And the guy's, no, I'm gonna go back because I'm gonna go back to my country. Because I guess he wasn't even from Mexico. He was like from South America somewhere. Or no, this guy was from Mexico because he was telling him a story. He was telling him, now look, I'm telling you because it was another story about another gentleman. I guess he was from South America or something. And he wanted, no, I just want the money also. Because to them, it's a lot of money. I mean, come on, $100,000. It's millions of pesos in Mexico. So to him, shit, he can buy, a ranch. That's what he wanted. He's all, no, with this money, I'm gonna buy a ranch over there in Mexico, and I'm gonna have, some cows, or goats, or pigs, whatever he wants to raise animals, That's how he's gonna survive. So then the judge goes, okay, all right, all right. So sign the paperwork. So he signs it. He signs all the paperwork, and then the other. So then you got another case. I mean, you're hearing all these cases, because you're like right there in line. I mean, there's then it was my turn, and then the judge he's all like telling me, okay, well, what are you offering him, because I mean, I didn't get my leg, just some of the, what do you call it, the nerves, like in front of my leg, I guess you call it the chin. They got damaged. Luckily I didn't break any bones. My leg just swelled up, so I wasn't off for that many days. I think I was off for maybe 3 days. After that, I went back to work. But then they still send me a check. I think the check they sent me was for 1,000, like 1,500. So I deposited in my account, didn't spend it because I read it, but it said, hey, if you owe, So then the lawyer for the insurance company, from the business where I was working at, which was Kragen's at the time, they're like, oh well, because they also have the letters from the doctor, saying how much the injury was worth, below morning here. Yeah, so he's all like, well, we think the lawyer was saying, well, this is what we're offering. I think they were gonna offer me like 2,500, and the judge, the judge is there actually for your side, because he was a good judge. He's not like, oh yeah, whatever, because he goes, hey, you want to get a lawyer, this and that. He goes, nah. He goes, I told him, I go, I feel that that you'll be fair. I told the judge, whatever you decide, I think is going to be fair. He goes, because I go, basically all I want, I go, is that my medical is covered 100% for the rest of my life, pretty much. If anything, if I had to have anything done or whatever, So he saw, okay, I understand. Okay, so then he starts reading, all the evidence, the doctor and all this, and the doctor, he asked me, is this this doctor that saw me? He's all like, is this your doctor? I go, no, this is the doctor that they sent me to. Had you ever seen this doctor before? He asked me. And I said, no, I've never seen this doctor. They sent me to him, and he checked me out. And, I would go in. And the funny thing is, the doctor, he just, looked at the x-ray. Oh, well, you didn't break anything, blah, blah. He would just talk to me. Well, I go, I still have pain, and I think they wrapped my leg, just for the wrap, just for the pressure. And the funny thing is, he's all like, well, so I go, yeah, I would go visit the doctor. The doctor wouldn't even examine me. I mean, he wouldn't even check my leg out or anything. He just, oh, so how do you feel? Oh, okay. See you in a couple of weeks and blah, blah, blah. And that's the way it went for probably 6 months. And then that's when I went to go see the judge. The judge is all like, so the lawyer, oh, well, we're offering about 2,500, and they did not want to offer medical. And I'm like, what? I'm like, shit, that's I don't think so, So he asked me, well, what do you think? I go, well, I don't think that's enough, but I mean, at least I want full coverage, medical. and there was the percentage, that the doctor said that the injury was worth. He even tells the lawyer, he goes, I don't know where this he called him a Mickey Mouse doctor. He goes, I don't know where this Mickey Mouse doctor came from, but what he put on here on this report, his Mickey Mouse report, is a joke. He goes, because this doctor, he's never seen this person before, and how much of range of motion, and how long can you walk, how long can you sit, anything. He never examined me before, so he wasn't my regular doctor. So he was saying, this guy, what the heck, he's a quack. He was calling him. So then he's all like, no. He goes, no. This is the percentage. I think he's injured, and this is how much you're gonna give him. He's gonna get full medical, and $10,000. And he asked me, he goes, "Do you think that's fair?" I go, "Yeah, whatever you think." I told the judge, I didn't even think I was gonna get anything. To me, I had never got injured before or anything like that. So then we, and he goes, "Well, wait outside," because the lawyer had to call the company and go, this is blah blah blah. This is what the judge is offering. This is what the judge is deciding, or else he's not gonna sign off on it. So I went outside, and waited. Then I guess finally the lawyer got the answer from the company, and then the judge calls us back in, and the judge is said, all right. So what did you decide? Tells the lawyer. The lawyer goes, yeah. It's they say it's reasonable, and I said, oh, okay. And then asked me, well, what do you think? I go, yeah, I was just hoping I got my medical covered, but get 10,000. They had already given me 1,500, so that was going to be deducted from the amount that they decided. So yeah, and then I got the money, paid some bills with it and stuff like that, But yeah, that's the way it is with regular workers' comp when you get injured. But if you get injured like I did, also to the post office, they have to pay you until you either get better or until they offer you a job, doing something. So they decided, well, okay, we're gonna pay you, because the doctor I had, is all, well, you know what, I can't lift anything, push anything, do anything. I could sit or stand for 8 hours, but that's about it. So they're like, well, there's no jobs available for you. So they had to pay me, and every year the thing is they send you to get retrained, to get back into the job, to the jobs, And then the thing is, they do a bunch of tests. They do like reading, writing, math. They send you to a therapist, kind of. I forget what they call it, therapy something. Basically, he's going to evaluate you, what you can do as per jobs. So then they do all these tests, and then they make you fill out a little questionnaire, what kind of job, because supposedly they'll pay for retraining, like if you want to go to college, like a year training or 2 years training. like vocational, any kind of job. If you want to be a welder or a mechanic, or something like that, they'll pay for it. Well, so I'm like, oh, hey, well, I put on there, hey, well, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a doctor, all these all these jobs, that you have to go to for years of college and years of university, so then they get all the results, and then with my limitations, the doctor said, the therapist says, well, there's there really isn't any jobs, that you can do. And then the thing is, the more smarter you are, the more jobs you qualify for. So you gotta kind of system, because they're gonna screw you anyways. So I'm like, hey, I don't know how to do anything, so then oh, there's no jobs out there for you. So then I didn't have to work for like 5 years, So, I'm collecting my checks, and I had to go to the doctor every 6 months, go see the doctor, give me medications, and this and that, doing tests. And then after like a year, they send you to their doctor, to their doctor, and if they have a doctor, some of the doctors are good doctors, because they're basically, the doctor's supposed to be for you. They're on your side, but you also got to watch it, because there's some doctors that the government or whoever that are in the pocket of the insurance companies. So they're working for them, and they're supposed to be neutral, and they're not. So then what are they? So then the doctor, they have the results of the doctor, because then I was going on this time that I got injured. I went to go see a regular doctor, even though it was a doctor that the post office sent me to, which also she got in trouble, because she was asking my doctor behind my back, forcing me to go back to work. So she got in trouble for that too, because that's the thing, they're not allowed to talk to your doctor, because they're supposed to ask for documentation, and then the doctor gives it to you, and then you can give it to them. So she was trying to manipulate the system too. So you got to watch it. And she got in trouble, and I said, you know what, I can sue you for that, and she got all so then I would go to see their doctor, and the doctor does a bunch of tests, see how strong and everything, measurements and stuff like that. And then, of course, if it's a real doctor that's not working against you, he's going to see another doctor's. And if another doctor has a lot of documentation of everything he's been doing, and says, of course, this doctor's not really going to go against your doctor. He might be a little bit of difference, but he's not going to go against, because he's not going to badmouth another doctor, because then that doctor is going to say, hey, what the heck, so what are you calling me like a quack, so that's the thing, that they'll so I did that for like, I think over 6 years. Till then they finally said, oh, well, we have a job for you. But you have to transfer over there. I go, okay, all right. And then I had the workers' comp guy from the federal government. They also work for you. They work for you, not for the company. Sometimes you get some of those too that are bad. And then so then they said, oh, well, there's a job, they're offering you a job, but it was like 90 miles away from where I lived originally. So I said, okay, I'll move. But the only thing is, I'll move because if the thing is, if you don't sign that paper, it says on there, if you deny, like say, I'm not doing that. I don't want to. You have to have a good reason why you're not. If it's a good job and they're offering they basically will move you. They'll pay for everything. They'll get a moving truck. And then since my wife was disabled and I was disabled, these people, all you have, he goes, these movie people are going to come in and just tell them what you want to move, and they pack everything for you, everything. And then when they get over there, they unpack everything too, because they're going to pay for it all. So then I'm like, okay, all right, so I told them, all right. So then they go, okay, well, you have to move over there. All right, when do I have to be over there? So supposedly I had to be over there in October. So I said, oh shoot, I gotta get a, because I had to get a place to live over. So I had to go look for an apartment, put a deposit and everything, because you can't just, where are you gonna live? I'm not gonna be living at a hotel. It's too damn expensive. So then, I after they said that, I said, so I went over there, got a studio apartment, paid the deposit, opened the electricity, and opened up the electricity and the gas, for the apartment, put in my name and all that. And then I set it all up. Then I came back home because I was going to be going over there like in less than a month. So then like right before I'm gonna go over there, they sent me another letter. Oh, that the training they changed it, and then that I wasn't gonna be over there until November. And I'm like, November? It's like, wait a minute, you told me I was gonna be over there, and this and that. I told them I've already got an apartment and all this, and now you're going back on what you told me on your word. And so it's like, no. So then I called the guy from Workers' Comp from the federal, and I told him, hey, you know what, these guys are playing games with me, what the heck, they're stressing me out, blood pressure's going crazy, I was like, at first they tell me one thing and now they changed it. And then I told them, they're all, no. He's all like, no, they're going to pay for it. They have to pay for it because they told you already. And you signed the paper. And I had that signed paper saying I accepted the job. And they're the ones going back on it. So, it's like, no, that's, they have to abide by what they decided. So then the guy from the post office is all like, oh, well, no, you have to, you go, their people send me a letter saying that you need to cancel your rent from that place, or else you're the one that's going to be liable for it. I'm like, what the heck? No. So I called my guy from the federal. I go, hey, you know what? They're saying that now I'm responsible, that if I don't cancel this and all that. The thing is, if I cancel it, I don't know if you ever, when you break a lease on an apartment, you're liable for 3 months of rent. I go, so why would I cancel it? Because then I'm going to have to anyways get it again in 3 months. I'm like, it's like, what the heck is, this was in August. No, it was at the end of August. Yeah, at the end of August. So I was going to move in. So I was September 1st. So I'm like, I'd be there September, October, and then November. And then he's all like, because I was supposed to start at the beginning of October. And he's all like, no. They're gonna, because I'm stressing out because how am I gonna pay for that apartment over there, and then how am I gonna pay for this over here where I was living at? So I had to do double rents. I'll go, that's crazy, and then not get paid over there. So it's like, no, you're gonna this and that. I'm like, no. The guy goes, don't worry about it. He goes, you pay, you keep the apartment and everything, and they're gonna have to pay for it. Okay, all right. So So then you know, I was still collecting money and stuff like that. And then I told my wife, I go, well, you know what? Because it was over there close to the ocean, you know, and all kinds of things over there. So I told my wife, you know, hey, you know, we can on the weekends we can go over there because we have an apartment basically to stay and use, you know, for free, kind of almost. So like, hey, you know, so every month when I got the bills, like the rent and the gas, electric, and everything, and I show it to I would give it, and then I would send it. I would send it, and then they would reimburse me. They would give me a check. So I'd get a check from the federal government, and then they were gonna bill them for it. He said, no, don't worry about it. I'll bill them if they want to play their little games, you know. Yeah, because they always playing games, trying to make you quit and give up and lose your money that you're getting from the government. So then finally October came, and then I went over there, and then right when I got there, you know, because you meet the people, the ones from the post office, they're working against you. You know, first they talk nice to you, welcome here, and this and that. This is the job you're going to be doing. I was going to be with a computer, and I was going to be with a microphone, and then talking to the microphone, sending the mail, you know, whatever, saying letters or numbers into it, and it's basically sorting mail, but with a voice activated. So then I'm like, okay, okay, you got to do some training and stuff like that, and then they had supposedly they offered at first 40 hours full, you know, but then you know, the thing is, when I got injured, they lowered, because I was putting in overtime, a lot of overtime when I was working, but then since when I got injured, I didn't work a couple of days, so that week I worked less hours, so that's how they screwed me there, because they worked it out. Oh well, he's part-time, because I was a part-timer in the post office, but I was working full-time hours plus overtime. They call them PTFs, part-time something. I forget what but it's a PTF. And the funny thing is, you know, they're like, oh no, well you only worked 33 hours, and that's what it came out to. So they were only going to pay me 33 hours every week at the post office. But hey, the money was, I mean, because it was I think at the time, this was a year like 2001. You know, and minimum wage was like below, I think it was below $6. I was getting paid like 13 something an hour. So yeah, and then, you know, and then plus you do a lot of overtime, you know, oh well, right there, the funny thing is, they didn't want to pay me overtime or anything over, you know, because I did work the 40 hours, like the first 2 weeks. And then they're like, oh, no, you're working too many hours. They cut them back to 33 hours. So I'm like, okay. So they cut it back. I'm like, all right, whatever. And I would work nights pretty much. It was like, I'd go in at, I think it was at 10:30 at nighttime. And I'd get out like, I think around 6:30 in the morning. So it was great, because I would get out of work, get home, take the kids to school, you know, and you know, well, this was afterwards, because the thing is, that's the thing that I told them, you know what, my family, I'm gonna be over here by myself, but my son, it's gonna be his senior year. He wants to graduate from the school that he's in. I don't want to mess up his school. They said, okay, that's fine. And then they were gonna move everything, you know, because they didn't move me over there, because I mean, I just had my clothes, and I didn't even have furniture. I had one of those Arab, you know, those beds that Arab. And So, I was living over there for 2 years, and hey, I was, working nights, and then I'd come visit for the weekends, and then go back and forth, and and also I would get vacation, and stuff like that. Well, I was doing that, and then they said, okay, well, you got to move your, I said I'm going to move my family, and then they started with their games again. In fact, the first day I got there, they're like, oh yeah, all nice talking to you, and then they're all like, oh well, we're gonna get rid of you. Yeah, they're damn, that's how evil they are. They don't even hide it. They tell you. They're like, we're gonna get rid of you. That's why we had to come over here, because there's since there was no jobs available. We're in your area, but there's more jobs available here in this area. You know, over here, it's a bigger city. And I'm like, Jesus. So I told that to the guy, and then plus then they started to say, oh well, we're not paying for your moving. I'm like, what? Oh, no. Part of the deal, it's in writing that you guys said you're gonna pay for everything with the move and all this. And then I'm like, oh shit, I started stressing out again, and and then so then I told him, I go, no. So I told the guy from the federal government, I told him, hey, you know what? They're playing games again. They're trying to screw me over again. They're not gonna pay for this and that, and they're not gonna. They don't want to pay for my move. He's all, no. They said, and they're gonna move you and everything in full coverage. And I'm like, okay, well, so then who's here? Who's the guy that's telling you this? Oh, the guy didn't even want to answer the phone. He left him a bunch of messages. He goes, yeah, I keep leaving him messages. He never gets back to me. He goes, but I'm gonna get him. And he did. He finally talked to him, and he told him, and then all of a sudden I get up. He talks. I come into work one day and go, oh yeah, we're gonna take care of you. We're gonna pay for everything, this and that. You just have to sign this form here, and then you read the form, and then the form is, like you have to, once they move you there, you have to be there for at least a year working there, because if you don't, after they move you, if you're not there for at least a year, they say, well, you have to reimburse them. It says for what you paid for the moving. Let's see who's in here. Hey, Michaela. Huh? Good morning, Michaela. Shadow, Guru, Scott, Cold-Blooded. Hey, Alex. Mrs. Hart Gusby, Good Citizen. Hey, yeah. So then the guy's all like, well, you have to reimburse, if you don't stay here for at least a year. So then I said, oh, hey, I don't have a problem with that. I'll sign it. I go because I'm not gonna quit my job unless you're gonna get rid of me. Then that's on you. Because if they would fire me for just get rid of you, because they had already told me they wanted to get rid of me because they don't want to pay. They don't want to pay. They want to get rid of you whenever you work for anybody and you get injured, they want to get rid of you. They don't want to deal with you. They're like, get rid of them. So then the guy's all, well, we're not gonna pay for your move and this, and then the guy finally talked to him and he said, no, you're gonna. Oh, they're all set. Oh yeah, we're gonna pay for it. So yeah, they paid for everything. The moving company came in a huge trailer, and then I didn't move everything. I just moved whatever I needed to move it, because see, I wasn't gonna sell my mobile home that I had. Because I know the way these guys are, they're going to try to get rid of me. But see, the thing they didn't know is if they did get rid of me, I wasn't going to stay there. I was going to move back where I lived before and get a job, try to find a job over there. Because I have that right. I don't have to live where they want me to live. I can live wherever I want to live. So then, yeah. So then I did that, and I moved them, and then they went. My son, he went to the university over there, the oldest, and the youngest one, he was going to school. And then all of a sudden, after about 5 years of working over there, all the all the all the injured workers, they all got letters that the post office was getting rid of everybody and this and that and stuff like that. So they everybody was panicking. Oh, and a bunch of the employees are like, "Oh, I got better." I'm like, dude, if you're not good, you shouldn't say. I mean, there was a guy that had a back operation. He almost got paralyzed, and then they forced him to go back to work, and he even got worse. He had a second operation, and then he was trying to, because he was afraid they were going to fire him. And that's the way companies are. They want to fire you. They scare you to quit, or oh, okay, sign the papers. You have to read everything. So then I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm like, so then I worked there, and then they finally, again, everybody got a letter, and then again going through the same thing. I go, I've already gone through this. I wasn't, an amateur at this crap. So I'm like, oh no, I know what I'm gonna get put through and all this. And I told the guys, don't worry, this is what they're gonna tell you. This is what you're gonna do. They're gonna send you to their doctors. They're gonna send you to their therapy guy. He's gonna try to find you a job, see what you can do and stuff like that. And if you don't, then you have if you don't sign, you'll lose your money. That's what it says on there. So you have to follow whatever the rules, of course. So yeah, they said, well, then they gave me my walking papers. They gave a bunch of people their walking papers, but then they still have to pay you because you're still injured. So I went home. I went back home. I said, bye. Went back home. So then again, I went again through another therapist guy, and then their doctors, and then finally they're like, oh well, their doctor, different doctors, and I still had my doctor. My doctor said, no, no, he can't do this. But then oh no, well, he can do certain jobs, just not so much, but he can do so. Then that's where they say, well, he can do security jobs. Okay. So then they're trying to find a security job, and then they say, oh well, because they call around, the therapy guys, they call around in your area what jobs are available, how much they pay, and everything. And he goes, oh well, there's jobs here that pay minimum wage was like 6.35 an hour, and there's companies that pay like 20 some seven like 17, $18 an hour. I'm like, yeah, really? Oh, okay. So then the guy goes, so then basically what they want to do, they want to find you a job to eliminate the money the government's giving you. So I'm like, oh, okay. But I said, I'm going to find a job part-time, a full-time job, but one that pays minimum wage. That way they have to cover the difference. And, so then the guy, oh, well, there's this job, they were going to eliminate my money because it was supposedly a job that paid a lot. So I called supposedly that only job that was available. And I asked, hey, yeah, it was security. I'm like, yeah. So what are the to get paid? What are the requirements? Minimum requirements to qualify. Well, they say you have to have at least 2 years experience in security, which I didn't have any at the time. And they said you had to. What else was it? Oh, and then you had to be ex-military. And I'm like, well, I neither. So I'm like, then I guess that job goes out the window. And so I told him, hey, I told the guy, you know what, you need to change this because I'm going to lose my money, and there is no jobs out here that I can do for that amount of money. So he reevaluated and he goes, okay, yeah, you're right. It's only minimum wage. So then I got, so they ended up having to still pay me minimum wage plus also my insurance, medical, and everything. So I'm like, hey, I can't go wrong with that, So I started working security, and I've been doing it since. But yeah, alrighty. Thanks for everybody for coming in and giving the thumbs up. Hey, good citizen. Yeah, so you gotta be careful, man. If you ever get injuries in a job or something, don't let them push you around, man. You have rights, and they have to follow the law. Sometimes you have to get a lawyer, but the only thing is, they say, oh, get a lawyer, you get more money. In certain times, no, because they're going to give you whatever the maximum is of what your injury is. If you have a doctor that's not working for the insurance company, so hey, you can always ask for a second opinion, But well, thanks everyone for coming. Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, which is here. Thank you for coming in, and till next time, God bless everybody. And as Keys says, say hello to your mama, because you never know how long you can have them. Bye, everybody.